What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Gaming Nation, presented to you by Fandoms Anonymous. The show today, we are going to be talking about E3. We're going into it. It's coming up very soon, so we got a few things to cover before it gets here. And so we got a couple different topics. We're very short on panelists today. We got some people that had some prior engagements, but that's okay because we're going to get the show done anyway. Ain't no big deal. We got them, but we will miss them, of course. But without any further ado, we'll go ahead and introduce the panelists that we do have today. What's going on, my brother Daryl?
Man, what's good, man? It's been a long time. Let's do it.
Yeah, it has been a couple weeks. We had a couple different things, including Mother's Day. But hey, whatever, it's all good. So what's going on, everybody? This is Clay from Tales to Blade. I'm your host for the show today. Now, cue that intro. All right, so couple different topics we're going to be covering today. Some things in gaming culture news leading into E3. We're going to be talking about the Kingdom Heat.
Oh man,
That's like when you that thing.
They gonna get you.
That's coming, man. It's like when you read that thing that's just like half an article and it's just ridiculous and it's like, okay, yeah, Kingdom Heat. No, Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay was finally released. We got some really solid gameplay. We're looking at some really great stuff. I mean, Daryl, you saw that game, that gameplay trailer, man. Let's talk about that for just a second.
Well, before I get into this trailer, I want to talk about something.
Go ahead.
Are we actually getting, do we got a release date? Because I didn't see a release date. Are we really getting this, or is this going to be a tease and it's going to be a delay?
Okay, so so just on that question right there, actually they did release alongside this trailer a not a release date, but the fact that we will be getting a release date come E3. So that being right around the corner, we will find that information very soon.
So E3 we're gonna find out if we actually getting this, because I don't want to get my hopes up and we're not gonna get this game.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get it.
Okay. So now back to the trailer. Oh, the trailer was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I see a little bit of parkour in there, a little wild running. Seems like they got some little tips from Call of Duty. I like it. And then when I see them in the Toy Story world, I mean, this game looks like it's gonna be pretty good. So I guess this is gonna be worth the wait. We've been waiting so long for this, and from the trailer itself, it's like it's gonna be worth the wait.
I agree, absolutely. I mean, it definitely looked really good. There was a whole lot of really cool things. A couple things I wanted to talk about it a little bit was how much they're actually putting into this game. So, I mean, a lot of people were talking about how long it's taken to get this game out, and the same thing for the Final Fantasy VII remake, which they rumored we're not getting until 2023. A little bit sad about that. Okay, a lot of it sad about that. But hopefully we'll see something on that soon. But I'm not talking about that. But so basically, around this whole thing, we've been looking at, let's see, in the trailer they had of course they brought back the fact that we're getting all these different Disney rides and stuff, like the train and the bumper car with the shooter in it. But then they showed things like, okay, so we're getting mechs. Like there's one scene in the Toy Story world. There's just a whole bunch of robots, and he keeps jumping into these robots, and that was really, really cool. I thought a little bit gimmicky, but at the same time, I mean that's. Go ahead.
So it's not Call of Duty, it's actually Titanfall.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It is Titanfall. I didn't actually play Titanfall, so no, I understand the premise. But yeah, it does feel a little bit Titanfall-ish, and which is cool. I mean, I'm not opposed to that, not one little bit. So that's definitely something we can look forward to, is getting wall running. By the way, which they showed in the portion of the Toy Story storyline, when they actually showed that you can leave Andy's room and go out into the streets. Now that right there blew me away because of how open world they made this game in that aspect. I mean, here you're used to Kingdom Hearts with these very limited sort of playfield style maps. And then they go and they add this large and in charge area that you can just roam around out in the street, out in front of Andy's home, or probably around Sid's home, you know what I mean? So That was pretty impressive. I was very happy to see that, and of course they brought back the rocket in that aspect, and then all the different Keyblade transformations. So we saw a couple of them, like the guns and the crossbow or whatever it was, but this time we saw these big old yo-yos and like this big trap thing, and it was nuts. So I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing that.
Well, here's another thing. Okay, this is a theory, but not a
Mm-hmm.
theory. Something that I'm wondering.
Okay.
Do you think we're gonna see some Marvel characters pop up?
Ooh, with the fact that Disney bought Marvel, it is safe to say that it's a possibility. Maybe not in the form of a world, but they did show that other Disney franchises will be coming into play during this game. Like
Yeah.
they showed Wreck-It Ralph as a summon. So maybe we might get a Marvel summon or something Marvel referencey.
That's what I was thinking about.
It's always a possibility. So again, we'll have to see more when E3 comes out. Moving on to the next topic was one that we covered in a coming up segment during which show was it? I think it was our sequels show, where we were talking about the different sequels. And so go back and watch that show if you haven't seen that one already. I was playing some Bloodborne at the time. You should definitely check out the Shadows Die Twice trailer that I mentioned, because my speculation on it, and a lot of people's speculation on it, was maybe this will be a sequel to Bloodborne, which would have been cool. Now, of course, I say would have been because we did get some information recently leading up to E3 from an insider source that says it's not going to be 200% not going to be Bloodborne 2. I was very sad to hear that, but what it will be is likely. They said likely, they're still not confirming anything, but it makes sense to be a continuation of the Kuon story from PlayStation 2. So this was an old software, from software IP that they had way back in the day during the PS2 days, and of course I say way back in the day because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was a survival horror game that took place in Japan and focused around a lot of spirits and the typical hauntings that go on when things go wrong in Japan. So that'll be an interesting thing to see indeed. Did you happen to check that out, Daryl? Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I was wondering because I was a little confused, man. I did a little research on it, and when you said survival horror game, and that's what I picked up on.
Right.
So, what my question is it gonna be a survival game? Like let's say like Ark or 7 Days to Die or Conan. Is it gonna be survival or is it gonna be like a campaign? A single player game like Bloodborne.
It was definitely it was definitely a single player game, but it was more in the style of like classic like Parasite Eve or
No, okay, wait, this game gonna be?
that's what
This game, do we know what this game's gonna be?
yeah, absolutely, and that's what I was just saying is it was more in the style of like Parasite Eve or Resident Evil, except your tools were a lot more limited. You didn't have like guns and things; you had knives. And another game that you could even liken it to was Fatal Frame. I don't know if you ever played that game.
I can remember the name. I had to play it, see it. I can't remember it now.
It was basically a game where you were walking through a haunted section of Japan, and your only defense was a camera. And it was a camera that could capture souls, and therefore you could actually fight souls with it, which was the premise of the game. So it was more in that style right there, which was pretty cool. I mean, it was a good set of games, Fatal Frame and Fatal Frame 2. So it was really really cool thing to see, and I am looking forward to it. I am a little bit disappointed, that it's not Bloodborne 2, but I'll take what I can get because From Software games have been really really good. I mean, going back to like days like Armored Core, there was just yeah, you remember Armored Core. So yeah, that was those were From Software games, believe it or not, and so they went from that to Bloodborne and Dark Souls and stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting to see how they continue on with Kuon. It's cool that they're reviving an old IP, but again, I am very sad about the whole Bloodborne thing.
Well, it was pretty interesting. So, I mean, it's definitely something I'm gonna be looking out for at E3 because, I mean, from the trailer I see, it didn't give me much. It didn't give me anything at all, but it's like a tease.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
it's definitely something I want to look at E3.
Yeah, that's why there's been so much speculation up until now because From Software is very, very hush-hush about what they do, but they do produce great games a lot of times faster than any of us can even play them. So, you know, that's just how they are. That's Miyazaki, and that's just what he does. So, next topic. We're looking at another release date for a game that came out. It was big hyped, and then suddenly it just went flat. It didn't go anywhere. It was sad, and it was really disappointing. But No Man's Sky is coming out for the Xbox One, actually after E3, and they are bringing it in with some multiplayer first. So, Daryl, let's talk about that for a sec. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm kind of one of those lucky ones, right? And I actually did pick up No Man's Sky. I actually waited because the hype was so hyped up. I said, you know what? I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see. All my friends bought the game, you know, and I waited. I was happy that I waited because I didn't waste my money. But the biggest thing, like I said, it's a survival game. It's a space survival game. I want to play with friends. That's what we want. And I think, you know, the director, you know, Tom, what's his name? Tom, Todd, what's his name again?
I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest with
you. But I think he made some mistakes when he started telling us, giving us all these promises and the game wasn't ready yet.
Right.
And I think this is proof that shows us that if the game is not ready, do not release it.
Absolutely.
Because No Man's Sky, I mean, it's a pretty good game. It just didn't have everything with it. Okay? It's like, you know, giving you a new car, but it don't have no tires. Or don't have a wheel. It don't have that. If it don't have all the pieces, it's going to be bad. Okay? So with this coming out with the multiplayer, I think this is it. This is the time the game is supposed to be released. So with that being said, I think I'm actually going to pick this up now.
Okay.
Because from, you know, all the you know, developers, they didn't abandon the game, which is great. They didn't abandon the game, so they've been updating the game over and over and over. And with this multiplayer release, I think this is what the game we was promised. So I think this is going to be a full game now, and I think it's going to be pretty good. So now I might just go pick this game up now.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it definitely is a good thing that they didn't abandon the game, because of the fact that, I mean, it's not like they had like what's the word I'm looking for here? They had a cult following to the game. It was small, so of course there is a YouTube community built around it. So of course it does have a small fan base, which is really cool. So they didn't want to abandon it for the sake of them, which for a developer is very respectable. And it is, but I mean, when they were releasing it, they were talking about how the likelihood of you running into another player from the beginning is going to be very slim because of how big the place is. And they were and even when the first came out, they were showing YouTube videos of how long it took for two players who were friends and were trying to find each other to find each other. And it, go ahead.
You see, now that thing right there, I think that's what that big mistake is, because you know, the guy behind the game, the director, now they say he's a genius, okay? And this is what happens when a genius underestimates, you know, determination. And these two players were determined to, you know, to milk each other. And it wasn't in the game at that point. So that's why he said, wait, hold on. The first 2 days, he was shocked that in the first 2 days, two players actually met up. I don't think they calculated that. You know, they underestimated the players, okay? And I think that was the biggest mistake, when they underestimated us.
Oh, without question. I mean,
gamers.
Oh,
you can't underestimate gamers.
Gamers are determined, man. You know, we're gonna find things that are not supposed to be found. I mean, that's actually kind of the whole premise of the Soulsborne series, and finding the lore hunters who found information that they probably shouldn't have found, but they did. And then of course through data mining on the PC versions of everything, which is always very cool to see. So it is definitely very interesting that they're coming back out with this, but hopefully they'll find more population growing into the game, and then they will, of course, eventually see more players intermingling and playing with each other.
Exactly.
So that would be. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to see how the game continues to grow and continues to build. So
it seemed like it was, a pretty fun game. I mean, it had a great concept.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Great concept to it. It is just. It was missing some key points that, that lost their fan base. And I believe with this update, I believe they can get their fan bases back.
Oh,
I truly believe they can.
without question. I mean, I'm never going to sit here and discredit the concept of them being able to rebuild on the game. I think that they will definitely find their niche, and I think that it will continue to grow in a very, very positive way for them. So I can't wait to see how it goes. And
Me too.
I'm actually going to be very curious to see how, what they see more at E3. So what things are you looking forward to for E3? What's your biggest want to see?
Um, you already know what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, never mind. Here it comes.
I want to see some more Red Dead. I want to see some more Red Dead. Okay, I mean that's the next game I'm really truly hyped about. I want to see some more Red Dead, but I know Rockstar probably not gonna show up. They never show up. But I want to see some more Red Dead, or at least some more some other games. Like with the success of God of War, I mean, I'm more excited to see some more good single player games now, because I mean, Santa Monica just showed us that single player games are still alive.
Oh yeah.
So I would love to see some more single player games. Now it is another game that I'm kind of looking forward to. Is Bethesda Rage 2. Now I played Rage 1, and Rage 1 was a great game. It was an awesome game. And now with this Rage 2 coming out, I kind of want to see some more of it. I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not convinced on buying the game as of right now, So if they just show me some more of the game, and then I can be convinced on if I want to pick this game up.
Yeah, without question. I mean, that definitely is a very strong point. You definitely don't want to just jump into a game without having any sort of inclination as to what you're going to be expecting. That's okay in some aspects, but at the same time, it can be pretty rough if you wanted something out of a game that you're definitely not going to get. I would like to see maybe some DLC for God of War. I mean, I haven't even beaten the game yet.
Why did you say that? Why did you say that?
I'm just saying.
I had word vomit. I almost said something, Clay.
Yeah. I haven't even beaten the game yet. But you know what? I'm
not going to give out any spoilers, but yes, I mean, I agree with you. I want to see them just say, come on, give us some kind of DLC. Give us something more. Because finishing the game, it has you just wanting more. More. I mean, it is a complete game. I must say that. But it still just leaves you wanting more. It's just, I want some more. And it's a pretty long game. Long. But it's so good of a game, it just leaves you wanting more. So yeah, I hope so.
I mean, I definitely think that it's worthy of some DLC, some more love than it's probably going to end up getting until maybe the next installment. But I mean, that won't be such a bad thing even of itself, even if it doesn't. So I mean, it's not like I'll get my hopes up. Some more things that I would really love to see at E3 is maybe I don't know, maybe something new, big coming from maybe Square Enix. I mean, we really haven't seen much. Really, I really haven't seen much in the way of coming up in terms of outside of Kingdom Hearts or even Final Fantasy VII, the remake. So it would be nice to see what other projects they're working on. And
CD Projekt Red, I would love to see them, give us something. I know they're working on Cyberpunk. They're working on Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But I want to see some more Witcher. I am playing a Witcher as of right now. I'm playing a Witcher as we speak. I would love to see, come on, Witcher 4. I mean, give us something else. Give us some more Witcher, Stevie. Come on. You know you want to.
That's right. So, but of course, there's going to be more discussions about that as we get closer to E3, which of course is going to be from June 12th to June 14th. So you can expect more of that right here on Gaming Nation. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are going to end the discussion here. There's not a whole lot more we can really talk about at the moment. The gaming world has been notoriously quiet, especially leading up into the biggest gaming show of the year. So definitely
But
we'll look forward to seeing more of that as time goes on. But for right now, that's going to be the end. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and cover our coming up segment. Daryl, what's your coming up pick for this week?
okay, it's this game I've been looking at, and it's called I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's called Vampire. You know, it's spelled with a Y,
Yep.
but I mean, this game looks awesome. I mean, it looks really good. So I want to see more of it. But I think it get released on pretty soon. I think June 5th.
Yeah.
I think it's the release date. Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely looking to this game. Like I said earlier, you know, with the success of God of War, I mean, we got to keep on supporting single player games, especially if they're that good. So I'm
Absolutely.
definitely gonna look some more into this game.
Absolutely. And actually, I want to cover some DLC. I saw this last night. I was pretty excited about it. We did cover on the show Terra, and we had mentioned that it was definitely a game that a lot of people should probably be looking to support because it is a good game. It really is a well-made game. And for an MMORPG, I could definitely say that. But some DLC that's coming up is actually really cool. They're actually bringing over a little bit of love from Attack on Titan. So not only are we getting, you know, some outfits and probably some theme-based weaponry, but we're also getting like the fist over the heart emote and the fact that you can do a lot of different kind of interesting parkour bits on the buildings that kind of leads to that. So it was kind of nuanced for me, as a lot of DLC tends to be, but it looked really cool, and I'm actually kind of excited to see that. So I will be probably picking that up and playing that on Terra. Again, if you guys want to see a Gaming Nation group on Terra, you guys should definitely let us know in the comments below and see, you know, come join that. That should be a lot of fun. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. Daryl, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Gaming Nation page. You can find me on the Fandoms Anonymous page and the YouTube channel.
That's right. And of course, I'm Clay from Tales of the Blade. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Fandoms Anonymous, Gaming Nation, on Facebook, YouTube, well, pretty much everywhere. And of course, yeah, I'm kind of everywhere at this point in time. But if you didn't know who we are Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMS ANONYMOUS. We're all over social media right now. You can check us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube right here. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, share this video with friends, share the channel with friends. We'd love to have you. We'd love for you guys to come over and join the Facebook groups, both Gaming Nation and Fandoms Anonymous, where we have conversations every day about gaming culture and fan culture in general. So thank you guys again for joining us. And if there's anything else, thanks for listening and have a great one.